Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and an unboxing of Revell's 70 Plymouth Roadrunner. Usually I show you a real nice pictures of the box and everything, but once again, Amazon's great idea of just putting our boxes in bags and sending them to us came out to where this is what I got. This is the back of the box, where it took the most amount of damage, but not only that, but here's the front of the box, which also got smashed pretty good. And yeah, I had some damage on this, but fortunately, nothing that we can't recover from. I did get a hold of Amazon. Let me move the decals here, or the instructions here, because I want this to be very clear. This is their customer service phone number. If you guys get sent a box that is smashed or banged up like this, call this number and tell them you're tired of it, you want your money back. And they will hook you up. But right now, I'm done complaining because this is a really nice kit. So let's start. You can see it took hit. It's just in the instructions alone. But let's open these up. These are typical Revell instructions, and you're all seeing this as I see everything, so we'll find the damage together other than the body. Typical Revell instructions, easy to follow, good call-outs. What this doesn't have that they usually do, unless I'm missing it here on the front, no, they don't have the parts numbers. Nope, they do. I'm sorry, I have a page stuck together and I thought this was a paint call out. But they have the paint call out, the parts numbers. This isn't a really big parts heavy kit, but it's got some good details, so you'll be able to do a pretty dang decent job. We have instructions. We have our decals, and I'm going to bring them up close and kind of turn them to where there's no glare. But there's good stripes. We have our Roadrunners. We have our center with our grabber. We have the grabber so you can do it open. A couple of gauges. A few good decals. The 440 emblems. We have our side lights. Not too bad. And fortunately for me, it's not as wrinkled as the instructions are because this was in it. So we kind of got lucky there. I'm going to move that out of the way. And let's start with our tire tree. Typical Revell tires. They all look good. No names on either side. So do what you want with them. You can get the decals or you can get other tires. But I'm just going to go straight black walls with mine. So these are perfect, and they got good looking tread on them too. Now I dug this out of the bottom because I wanted to show you. This is how the chrome came. Again, I think I lucked out because I don't think anything is really damaged. But look at the bend in that thing. This kit took a hit. But I think we're okay. The bumpers don't look bent. The westerns are okay. So I think we're all right. It just got a seam running down it. And fortunately, these are single molded. Because if they were double molded, it would have broke them. For sure. And, I don't know. Let's just chuck it in a bag. We're going to have to throw this in LA Awesome. That's our air cleaner. Our alternator. Our rims are going to go in LA Awesome. I think I'm going to use the stock rims on this, though, the Steelies. But we'll see, because I do like the looks of these when they're stripped and painted with chrome silver. Our carburetors in the LA Awesome. The dual fours, these are nice looking detail on here. So those are going in LA Awesome. Those are probably going to be what we use on this. but I'm not sure. We'll see where we end up. We have our high risers. We have our mags. Everything looks good. Pretty much everything looks all right. We're okay here. So let's move on. We have a huge bag of styrene. Look at this box. Look at the corner of that box. It's like, come on. And I've waited a long time to get this kit too. So when it came, I came upstairs and Terry goes, "Hey, your kit came and you're not going to be happy." So I immediately got on the blower though, and like I said, they made it right. Amazon, with no problems, refunded my money. And they basically told me, do whatever you want with the kit. And you know what? I'm going to build it, but now I can't show off the box at the back of the display. So we're shot there. And I like doing that. But anyhow, I'm over it. I've already talked enough about it. Let's bring it in a little bit here. And then I won't have to move everything around and get y'all seasick. The Roadrunner didn't have a whole lot of detail in the interior, but what this molded in here, it's done nice. I will bring you up because I want to show you our ashtrays, our latches, the windshield or the window cranks, all are in there. Our pedals are molded in nice. It's a one-piece bridge across the top. Just snip off the little bottom on the 3 and you'll be good to go. The hood looks great. Let's see what we got underneath. Oh, look at that. Underneath, they put the pin marks out of the way to where they'll be easy to work on. Very easy. The insulation looks good. It has to be insulation on there, the way that's textured. So that's what we're going to do. Even if it really wasn't on the real kit, I'm okay with that. I'm going to make it look good here. You got 2 grabbers. You got an open and a closed. And all it is just, this is molded with a wedge already on it. So I'm glad of that. So you don't have to glue those pieces on. So pick and choose. If you want it open, I'll leave it open. This has a nice lip in there that'll just drop in. And if you really wanted to, you could have it open and closed, just depending on which one you want to put in for what display. I'm eyeballing that intake, and that looks very nice. The backs look good, but again, the door panels look great. I'll bring you up and just bring you one. They look, how about if we do the right side up one? They do look really good, and we'll be able to detail those out with what detail I can find online. We have a seat back just sitting in there by itself. Always check your bag. You can see it just fell off. Looks good though. I like the headrest setup. Might as well pull that one out with it. Drop right on there, and we'll just have to work that seam out across the top of the seat. So not a big deal. Even if we have to use a little filler, we can. But that doesn't look like it's going to need any of our new glue. We'll melt that together. You wait a day or two, and then you can sand that off nice. Wait a day or two. Overnight is good enough. I like to let it harden up all the way before I start sanding on it. So put that in the box before I lose it. And we got our engine, our front suspension, our heads, our little tiny distributor, our belts and pulley, nicely done dash. I'm going to tilt that back and forth so that the light, you can at least get some good reflection detail on that. Same with the engine. The engine halves, we got the starter molded on here. Everything looks good. We'll be able to detail that. Good plate. I'll put linkage on there this time just because I was told that I never do. And again, thank you Facebook for pushing me to the next level. Our front suspension looks really good. Good detail in there and a lot of hand detail, which I really like doing. So we can get in there and change some colors around. I'll start with semi-gloss black, and then we'll work into some flat aluminums or some gunmetals, depending on where we go. The seat looks great. Good detail everywhere. It even has the little slots in there for the back burners. Our pan looks good. It looks like the mold line or the separation marks, pin marks, whatever you want to call them, are where they're going to be hidden by the bench, because that's going to sit here and come way out front. For our stick shift, again, no pedals. Nice back seat, the split bench where you got the two little foamies and then a piece in the middle, and it even has the speakers in the back. Now I think I want to do an 8-track. So we're going to have to put an 8-track underneath this dash, and maybe make a couple 8-track boxes to put on here. I am going to be doing some decal work, and maybe on that sheet of decals we'll make some 8-track boxes. My first 8-track was ELOs out of the blue. A lot of little ringlets here. Not sure if they're supposed to stay or if that's just the way it was molded. I'm going to have to look. But they stick up probably 1/16 of an inch. 32nd for sure. Underside looks great. We have our fuel line and our brake lines molded right in. They come all the way back. This one even has the crossover. Look, it has both of them. These are the brake lines. Crossover to the outside on both of them. We'll paint those in there. I imagine those are supposed to be for the e-brake, and then we'll run our brake line and our fuel lines back to the tank. Tank looks good. Got the straps on it. No real big mounts, but it's got the good straps on it, so we're good there. Nice detail, thick enough to where it looks good. And again, our letters that we're going to have to scrape out of the center, which I just hate that they do that, because they could do it on anywhere like they did this. Since it's on here, they're just doing it on there just to be there. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine, because you can never get this texture right again. But it is what it is. We can deal with it. I'd actually rather have it on the nice smooth part of the gas tank than back in here where you got to struggle to get rid of it and make it look right again. And I know the axle goes over it and hides it and all, but I know that all those scratches are going to be there that I can't just get out all the way. But it looks good. It's flat, which we're fortunate for, the way this thing got beat. When we pre-check it, we'll make sure that everything goes together nice there. Our last sprue looks really good. We have our back. We have our exhaust and drivetrain all molded together with the rear end. Good detail on there. It's not split. This just goes up into the frame, so you're only going to see that much of it anyhow. We have our engine front. We have, I guess the whole brake assembly is just half. I don't remember seeing the other half anywhere. The radiator hose, exhaust manifolds, and they all look good. Our steering wheel looks great. No flash, no warp, no bend. Fortunately, everything's straight here. Radiator in the front. Our fan looks good. Good detail. I've had people say that they like this setup and they don't like this setup. A lot of people like to put their springs on and everything just so they can paint things out. With a fine enough paintbrush, I don't mind this, because I know when I put these on the frame, it's going to sit flat where all four wheels hit the ground. And this is easy enough to paint. I'll spray it all the black and then come back and I'll brush this, and any black that gets on there basically doesn't even show up. I've tried to make it show up before, and when you brush paint it out, it kind of just absorbs all that black, so don't worry about it. It's good to go. We got some chrome tips though that were definitely going to take the Molotow too. I like this back. The Plymouth is very faint, so we're going to see how we feel. I don't remember seeing any of that in the decals, so that might have to be hand painted. And geez, oh Pete, it's shallow, but we'll do our best like we always do. Radiator looks okay. Again, there's a mold line going right down here, so that line will have to be sanded all the way across, but no biggie. It only takes maybe 5 minutes, and if you get rid of it and make that look flat, just like those mold lines that I talk about on anything round, if you get rid of those, it makes a huge difference in how it displays. So there is that. And now we have our glass, one-piece glass, with our lights, our front turn signals, and our 4 headlights. I just did the one-piece glass on the GTO I built, and that fit in there so tight that I didn't even need to glue it. I did put a little bit of future on the rails here. Future. Now I'm going back a few years. I did use a little bit of quick shine on the rails here to suck it in and just glue it to the roof, but it didn't even need it. And this looks like about the same way, where they got the little hump here for where the mirror will go down there nice and easy. So I'm happy with that, and I'm happy that it's not all bent to snot. And lastly, this is the first time I took it out of the bag, but it's not the first time that I messed with it, is our roof was damaged right here. And this was all bent to snot. You can see the different color whites where it was bent in and then bent out, and this was turned over. And just with my fingers, I kind of bent it back. I got to quit doing that. I got to get this in hot water. And what I'll do is I'll take the glass out. I'll get this, I'll soak it in some super hot, my tap water is very hot, and I'll soak this up to about here in very hot water. I'll pull it out of the hot water, I'll take the glass and I'll shove it up inside there, and I'll work that a little bit with my fingers, and that hopefully will smooth out a lot better than that. But when I first looked at it, this whole thing was canted over this way, about 5 degrees. And you know what? If you were a new model builder, you'd fuss with that until it broke, just like I almost did, just out of frustration. But you can see how bent that is, and for 2 cents worth of a box, that shouldn't even be like that. But anyhow, let's keep going. The fender well, we have our overflow bottle and windshield washer. We'll paint those up nice. We got a little bit of detail on that firewall. Not a whole lot, but not a whole lot's needed. The other side's pretty much clear. We got the battery. The battery cables are run. I'm not going to sand those out on this one because they are done pretty nice. I'll just paint this up the way it is, and we'll go from there. This fortunately didn't get bent, so we're good to go there. We have nice, I love the body lines of these old cars. They're just so huge, but they look so sweet. The door latches are molded in, windshield wipers are molded in, and they're kind of shallow too, but they'll be okay. The back, I love that little swoop down on that back window. And then everything looks like it's pretty true this way, and we'll find out more once I drop it in the frame. Just a few mold lines in here that are no big deal because again it's clear glass, drops in, and then we have 3 mounting points. This is just like the GTO was. 3 positive mounting points for the glass to drop in. And when I did that to the GTO, it literally, I had a hard time popping it back out when I test fit it. And then you got your 2 positive mounting points for your chassis to, or your tub to sit in there too. But with that, I'm going to paint this exactly the way the box is. We will add a bunch of detail to it. You know, I can't leave an engine bay alone. And then we'll do as much as we can inside. I'm not going to light it just because I don't want to try to cut this swoop out on the trunk. And this is going somewhere where he's not going to want it. He's never going to turn the lights on if I did light it. So we're just going to leave it go that way, and we'll do as much detail as we can to that engine bay. And then with that, I'm going to let you go. Y'all have a great day. Don't forget, here's that phone number again. Y'all have a great day and a better tomorrow, and I will see you soon. Thanks again for watching.